What's going on, guys? Jay the Black here. Shout out to everybody tuning in. I want to talk about this woman here. Her name is Roda Osman. She was known as the Bricklady because she claimed she got hit in the face with a brick, and she was able to get $42,000 or more from GofundMe. Well, she's been found guilty in a theft scheme because this was actually her second GoFundMe she did. She did one years prior, and the jury, I guess, heard testimony for 3 days, and they found her to be guilty. And this heifer had recently started to do interviews about this, and she's been telling everybody she's innocent, she's gonna fight this, nobody's standing by her, just so desperate to be a victim. And the funniest thing about her is she claims to be an activist. I'm assuming for black people, even though her bio says black feminist, and whenever a woman identifies as a feminist, she's not doing anything for men. If anything, she's trying to harm men. Feminists do not do anything to help men whatsoever. So the fact that this story is pretty much coming to its conclusion in the jury, because it was a jury, like a jury trial, they found her guilty because they didn't believe her either. 3 days of testimony. So no matter what Roda says from here on out, she's a liar. This heifer lied in order to get sympathy, to get GoFundMe, because she used victimhood to financially enrich herself. What happened to her face, I believe, was due to an allergic reaction. That is why the night that this incident allegedly occurred, according to her, she was wearing a ski mask. She was wearing a ski mask. And she was wearing a ski mask because she was covering up what her face really looked like. Now, maybe it didn't look as bad before, but maybe she drunk something or something happened. Maybe someone pulled the mask off her face and it was there, and that was her way of explaining it. But this happened in 2023. And the guy that she claimed did it, he was never found. This woman was willing to have some fake invisible black man blamed for this to create some sort of gender battle. She didn't care. This heifer literally is out here going on vacations. She's out here basically flaunting it, spent the GoFundMe money when she got it, knowing that she lied. And there were people who thought that this heifer was innocent. Innocent of what? She's a straight up liar. This is why people don't want to believe women these days. Because you have liars like Roda, and I'm saying she's a liar because the courts found her guilty. She's found guilty of theft, so they believe she lied. So I have to go with what the law says. I have to agree with the jury. She's a straight up liar. And this is why people don't want to believe women these days, because you have females like Roda, who's clearly a broken woman, who doesn't care about anybody but herself, is willing to throw black men under the bus in order to push some victimhood narrative because she desperately want to be seen as a victim. But as soon as she opens her mouth, that victimhood goes out the window. She's extremely unlikable, even to people who she could maybe find kinship with. The jury found this heifer guilty. We're going to get into the details. Ain't no more alleged. They think the heifer lied and stole money. So let's get into it. A woman who went viral in 2023 after claiming that a man threw a brick at her head when she wouldn't give him her number, then raised more than $42,000 through a GoFundMe page, has been found guilty of theft by a Harris County jury. Roda Osman, who's 35, had to be told to calm down several times after the jury returned the guilty verdict following 2.5 hours of deliberations, because she knew she's a liar, and now it's documented. Roda Osman, aka the Brick Lady, is now a documented liar, and she knows this ain't going away. Maybe she'll appeal it, but will she? The bank records shared during the trial revealed all the donated money has been spent. Of course, the Harris County prosecutor Keith Houston said, on trips to Jamaica and New York, at restaurants, spas, and ride shares. probably some tricking as well. After the jury convicted Osman, Harris County District Court Judge Dan Simon sentenced her to 10 years probation. If conditions get violated, Osman could serve a 10-year prison sentence. So they didn't put her in jail. What they did was they gave her 10 years probation. So if she breaks any laws, she's going to prison. And they don't play in Texas. I mean, they will send you to prison, you know. And she did this to herself, ladies and gentlemen. She has nobody but herself to blame for this. As conditions of probation, Osman will have to serve 90 days in jail and undergo inpatient substance abuse treatment. Houston said Osman will also have to pay full restitution of the $42,000. You better get that OnlyFans cranked up. She better get that OnlyFans popping. But apparently she has to serve 90 days in jail. I told you, they don't play in Texas. They not playing with you heifers no more. She got to spend 90 days in jail and undergo substance abuse treatment. They think this heifer's doing drugs. Listen, it couldn't have happened to a nice person. Listen, this heifer really tried to get the internet to hate an invisible, fake, make-believe black man. She really tried to push a black gender battle. So everything that's happening to her, she did it to herself. She did it to herself. There is no way physically possible that a brick could have done that to her face in such a short period of time. It would take a lot of force for that to have her face looking like that. And she knew it had nothing to do with no black man throwing a brick at her because she turned him down. Now she got to pay that money back that she spent up. I tell you, GoFundMe needs to have conditions and parameters in place to keep people from defrauding that platform. That platform for years has been known as the scammers' go-to. She's out here on trip. Look at that. She's on trip. This is just one of them. Flaunting how she been spending money that doesn't belong to her. And the court saw this as well. The jury saw this as well. I'm pretty sure they got a hold to her medical records as well. This heifer's a straight up liar. This is why nobody wants to believe in the victimhood of black women anymore, because they not all of them, but there are those like her, like Roda, who are straight up liars, and they get convicted in court. And they're going to make her pay, not only monetarily, but with her freedom. And they got her on a 10-year probation. So she's going to be on thin ice for 10 years. And she's going to have to pay back every dime that she got from GoFundMe. That's why I say Rhoda's going to have to get that OnlyFans popping, because that's the only way she's going to be able to pay this back. Because if she don't, they may end up going after her as far as trying to put her in jail for not paying that money. They took this very seriously. When they realized that this heifer was lying, they wanted to punish her to the fullest extent. 90 days in jail, 10 years probation, $42,000 in restitution. It's $42,302 in restitution. And she did it to herself. She put herself in this. She's out here doing interviews, trying to make herself seem like a victim, and she ain't. She created this mess for herself. She had nobody but herself to blame. She wanted desperately to be a victim because she has psychological issues. And the saddest part about this is that she's a mother. I believe she was married once. And she is, I don't know if it's social media, but I don't know, social media can get to these people's head and just make them just crash out and do the absolute most, when in reality they need to get themselves together, get a job, get a career, instead of going out here and grifting off the kindness of others. This heifer used the kindness of others to enrich herself. She can go on vacations. Now she ain't got that money, and now she owes the state $42,302. $302. So how's she gonna pay that back? Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts. Like this video and share it. Follow me on all my social media platforms, and I will see y'all in the next one.